I'm Juliet Harvey, the station manager at Pemi Baker TV, and I'm standing here with
Stephen Woodbury
from
Plymouth, New Hampshire.
And
Kristen Walsh from Ashland, New Hampshire.
What's happening today that you are standing here?
Well, this is the first presidential election I've been involved with since George McGovern ran in 1972. I think Bernie has rallied a great deal of support from a great deal of people that would ordinarily not be this involved in the process. And I'm out here because I believe that we need a complete change in the way we do business as a country.
I'm out here supporting Bernie Sanders. This is the first campaign I've ever been involved in. I've always been voting. I've always taken part in democracy, but this is the first time I've been excited about a candidate. This candidate speaks to me. He is excited about changing campaign finance systems, which is crucial. We have a corrupt campaign finance system that's going on. It's been happening for far too long. He has family values that I strongly align with. The U.S. needs to catch up in terms of paid family leave when a family has a baby, and taking care of children should be a top priority for a family, and not trying to pay the bills when you do have a child.
Have you seen a lot of support today as far as honking, and what have you seen as far as feedback from the people here at the Rotary?
Well, I would say that the support has been overwhelmingly Bernie. Tremendous amount of honks and beeps and waves. Some negativity from some other parties, but generally speaking, I think Bernie has a lot of support in the state and in the country. And I think if he gets half a chance, he would win a general election.
Thanks very much for talking with us today. This is election eve at Bernie headquarters in Plymouth, New Hampshire.
I'm here just because he's speaking to everything I've ever thought that a real politician should be talking about. These are, real issues that everyday people are facing.
Okay. So you're not a student. Do you work in the surrounding area, or?
I actually work out of Concord, but the reason I'm not a student is because I can't afford college. So hopefully Bernie would help me be able to afford that.
What would your major be?
Well, I'd like to get a degree in psychology and maybe be a psychologist. I'm friends with a pretty wide variety of people. I have friends who are Republicans, friends who are Democrats, but I would say overwhelmingly, even the Republicans, Bernie tends to speak, at least even if they're not voting for him, he tends to speak to something that, they can at least agree with. And as far as the Democrats go, I don't know any of my friends who are voting for Hillary.
One word, why Bernie, not Hillary?
Honesty, integrity. He's totally independent of all these big donors that seem to be running the elections, and he's, it really shows in his rhetoric.
Great. Well, thanks very much for talking with us, Spencer. Good luck.
We're volunteers. We have a field organizer, a person who is paid by the Bernie campaign.
Harrison,
right? Harrison Weber, and he's been here since
September.
Early
right. September.
Yeah.
And
about how many volunteers?
Hundreds and hundreds of volunteers.
Actually, we've never counted because several just repeat shift after shift. Other times we just have people walking in the door from all over the country. Hi, I'm here from New York, and put me to work. I'm here till Tuesday. Right. They are coming here for this, to help the Bernie cause.
And so they're flocking in from New York. Any other states?
Connecticut, we had a van full from Yale. We've had several vanfuls from UVM. We've had folks from Cape Cod, all over Massachusetts, just coming and saying, put me to work. Canvassing, phoning, door-to-door, driving.
Cooking. No.
Mostly local chefs here extraordinaire have kept us well fed.
So in the morning we open up the place around 8 o'clock, and this is what's been going on here for the last 3 days. Open the place up, we send out canvassing teams. They go, we give them a territory to do with specific names of specific people at specific addresses, and they may get as many as 30 peoples that their objective is to contact. And we give them a map and we tell them how to get to the general area, and then they go and they make contact. Hopefully, with
Is that just
folks.
Plymouth or all the area?
It's the whole area. We had people in Alexandria today. We had some in Campton. We had some in Rumney. We had some in Holderness, Ashland. It's the whole general area around here, the same ones as we normally have. But Bristol and Alexandria and Bridgewater are kind of like little add-ons to our normal, like Plymouth Central region.
So is this the biggest headquarters in how many miles or districts?
We're the biggest in north of Concord. Concord is
North of Concord.
right. Yeah. This is what's called a field staging location, which means that we send out volunteers from here.
Are people like sleeping out of here and stuff?
No,
In
but
fact,
Not officially.
There's something called Bernie B&B where people can go right on to a website. It's an app on their phone and say, I'm going to such and such location to volunteer. I'd like a place to stay.
That's better than the Liberty van lady that I saw yesterday who was sleeping in her van
right.
across the country.
Another
That
really
sounds great.
interesting personal anecdote would be that not only the geographic distribution of folks that are coming, but the age distribution. We have young kids not anywhere close to being able to vote who want to just volunteer, and they're here on our phone banks for shift after shift after shift, just talking to folks about what's important to them and why they should vote for Bernie.
I really got the passion for Bernie by way of a fellow named Larry Lessig, who was here actually, did several lectures here, and also was part of the New Hampshire Rebellion. And he impressed on me the tremendous importance of us getting money out of politics, because without the money out, without the undue influence of the very small percentage of our population who have an extraordinary amount of power in the political system. If we can't get that out, we can't do anything else that we want, we as the people. So it is not the only thing that needs to be done, but it is the first thing that needs to be done. And I think the Bernie campaign has created the possibility, the willpower, and it's the reason that it's not so much a campaign as it is a rebellion, or they call it a revolution, a democratic revolution, is because this isn't, when we get Bernie elected, we are just starting to work.
Hillary people and Bernie people in the town getting along just fine?
Oh yeah, we're all,
of course.
you know,
And that's part of Bernie's campaign. This is not an anti-Hillary campaign at all. This is pro the people. That's all.
yeah.
They're people. We respect them. Good for them.
We go out there and we try to yell louder than they do down on the circle down here in the morning, but
And we still like them.
and we still like them, but we have the better signs, and we have the honking, we have the honk part. So you go
You're
to
winning with honk.
well, I don't know.
The honk pole.
Yesterday I was out there and you did have a mix of signs, two Democratic signs, so
Right.
it was hard to tell who was honking
Well,
for what.
Hillary and Bernie were out there. I don't know that there have been any Republican.
No,
I haven't seen it.
And we set up the menu, more or less, for the last 4 days to supply 50 to 100 people that would come through to have something to eat. And it's been a lot of fun doing it. We have vegan food, vegetarian, meat, salads, fruit, donuts.
Have you been involved in campaigns in the past, presidential campaigns?
For Obama, I did canvass and work for him.
Oh, okay. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bernie instead of Hillary is because I really want to get the money out of politics. I don't like the fact of big money ruling our lives and who we elect. So that's just one of the reasons. I'm also not a fan of war. I don't want to rush into war of any kind. So there's just so many reasons. I think Bernie's totally honest, and he's been saying the same thing for years. And I just think he's the perfect candidate. I think he can do it.
I came from New York, actually 2 separate times, once last week and once this week. And I'm a big Bernie supporter. And New Hampshire is actually like a second home to me and my family. So we're very familiar with the area. Love the town of Plymouth. Love the Newfound Lake area. It's a lot more grassroots, I would say, in this area. Yeah. Well, in New Hampshire in general, or maybe it's just northern New Hampshire, which I'm familiar with. Back home, people tend to be more affiliated with party and to be more, I would say, guided and directed by what their party does. Here, people tend to be more independent in their thinking, but they also seem to be, in a way, more open-minded and willing to meet the candidates, which that's what happens here in New Hampshire. You get a lot of retail politics.
So can you tell us a little bit about your fantastic ride here?
This is the Liberty Van. It's an award-winning art car. It won a trophy at the Houston Art Car Parade in 2011. And she's got 423,000 miles on her. I started decorating her 10 years ago. She's my dog van, too. That's why we get so many miles. I raise Afghan hound dogs, show dogs. My name's Linda Farley. I'm from Edmonton, Kentucky. I come up to Vermont every year after Christmas in January to see my grandkids. And I was up here this year, and I am so sick and tired. By the time we get a primary in Kentucky, it's all over. And I always have to choose the lesser of the two evils. And this time I decided, gee whiz, I'm up here anyway, why not help out the one I want? And maybe with any, with some prayers answered, he'll be on my ballot by the time we get a primary in Kentucky.
So you change, depending on the presidential campaign, you change your message.
Well, actually, it's I only do the campaign stuff occasionally. I make temporary signs for things like this.
So you're more about liberties?
Well, yeah, I call it the Liberty Van. I think it says militant capitalist smoker over my windshield. That kind of sums it up. I want free market.
Smokers' rights?
Yeah, that too. It's a property rights issue. I still can't fathom why the Live Free or Die state has a ban of illegal activity in a privately owned business establishments. I mean, those who don't like freedom and private property rights could pack up and move to Russia or Cuba or the Communist Republic of California. That would work for me. One of my favorite ones there is right over there. It's Rocket Man. Can you see him?
Yes.
The guy on the rocket. Yeah, I noticed it was a wine bottle holder. I found it in Vermont a few years ago, and I customized the lettering. I put a medicine bottle in it, and it says Progressive Socialist Snake Oil. And you'll notice that he's riding backwards, and that's on purpose, because it says America turn around, wrong way.
Wow, this is great. So you travel alone?
Yeah, usually. I have dogs with me sometimes. I dropped an Afghan hound off in New York City in that blizzard on the beginning of this trip.
Wow. So do you have a Facebook page and all that?
LibertyVan.com is the website. There's a link to my Facebook right at the top.
LibertyVan.com. Thank you very much. I just picture some of these pieces like flying off on the highway. Does that ever happen?
Actually, no. On the rare occasions when something breaks, it lays there. It falls down and lays there until I see it.
Yeah, it's held in by all the other stuff
up there. It can't really go anywhere. But yeah, I wash it regularly in the do-it-yourself car washes, and I blast it with the high-pressure hose on purpose because if anything has a problem, I fix it before I get on the freeway.
This is really well sculpted. It looks like, well, how do you put it on here? Between you get duct tape, epoxy,
well, carpet tape, and amazing goop glue. There's a lot of it, and the big ones are tied on roof racks with ratchet tie downs. There's 4 ratchet tie downs on that big Silver Eagle all by himself. He's not going anywhere even if I roll this thing. Actually, I killed a deer last year with my other award-winning art car, and nothing fell off except pieces of my broken headlight, and almost nothing broke. I took everything off before I let him take it to the body shop, and then I put it all back on when I got it back with a new hood and fender and bumper and everything.
Your mechanic must love you. So what do you think of our fair town, Plymouth, New Hampshire?
It's very cute. It's very cute. I wasn't here very long. I did get run out of your Walmart, which is kind of interesting because in 400,000 miles in 48 states in 10 years, that's only the 3rd time that's ever happened. But I guess I get it. There's a lot of
what happened to you?
There's a lot of socialists here, and this has been known to give a socialist a hissy fit occasionally.
So what did they ask you to leave?
Yeah, they said, oh, well, you can't do that here. I said, what, do what? I was working on a new piece for the van. I actually had a casualty from the New York blizzard. I had 2 feet of snow on this roof in the morning.
I'm here with John Ranlett, selectman on the Plymouth Select Board. And how long have you been out here today, John?
It's about my third, almost fourth hour, so.
Have you been up really early in the morning, too, doing campaign stuff?
Yep, we got in here about 8 o'clock this morning, got everything set up and got things going, so. And everybody took a little break, and now we're back out here for the afternoon. And
So you've been out here for quite a while. What have you seen as far as turnout?
It's great turnout. I mean, from both sides, and everybody's out exercising their right to vote. And as a veteran, we appreciate that. That's what we fought for everybody to be able to share their values and vote their conscience. And so a turnout is great.
Is it any? I assume you've been here in other campaigns. Is it any different than other campaigns in the past, primaries?
No. We've got a lot more candidates, I think, this year than we've had in the past. But everybody's friendly. Everybody knows everybody, regardless of what camp you're in. So we just respect one another. We're citizens. We agree to disagree on candidates, but tomorrow we'll all be citizens of the town doing what we can for the town and the community. But I've been to meet the candidates, see what they're about, get to meet them, talk to them like you and I are talking. And so I think it's been real good. Carly's camp's probably been the most active.
Is that your favorite? See, I see you holding the sign.
Her and Ben Carson, I think, are 2 really great candidates.
All right, well, thanks very much for sharing.
Debate last night. Yeah, it was good, right? We had a lot of fun. We got very high grades on that. Even people that hate me gave me good marks. He's taking it. Why don't you just throw it out the window? What they should do is give it to the vets. That would be right. A guy like Bush has got $128 million. I've never seen it. It's at the bottom of the pack. And it's just a total, it's such a waste. Well, actually, it's not a waste because all of those handlers that he's got make a lot of money. They make a lot of money. So what they follow, they won't follow it except for that. So it's not possible that, you look at it and you see the kind of money you're talking about. But, so I'm a self-funder. I'm putting up my own money, right? That's amazing.